Alright, hello everyone, it's Mark1K1 with my L.O.R on Metro Last Light, which straight off the bat I'm going to say, fucking great game. One of the few sequels that is better, by far, just outright better than the first game. And that's not to say the first game was bad. I really liked the first game as well, and I was glad to see that it was getting a sequel. However, it's just the amount of improvements to the story and the other components of the game just make the game amazingly good. I recommend it. I just automatically recommend it on any platform you have available, whichever you prefer. For instance, well, okay, let's say you have a PC and it's alright, it's not amazing. I would actually not recommend getting it on PC at that rate, mostly because it's going to be, it's probably going to run a bit shit. And that's no offense to you, it's just this game is intensive as fuck on the PC, just like the first game was, and it just probably isn't recommended. I run a 550 Ti, which isn't amazing by any standards, it's very mediocre if anything, and that I can see maybe running the game on low, that's about it. So, I mean, the Xbox and the PS3 aren't obviously going to be that much better, but they're going to be tweaked. The games, when they're released for those platforms, are tweaked a bit, so they work a bit better on those, despite the age of the consoles. Now, what I experienced on the Xbox was pretty good. I'd say graphically, it was still superb. It still looked beautiful in comparison to a lot of other games at the moment. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with the graphics on the Xbox or the PS3 if that's the platform you want to play it on. So don't worry about that. And if anyone's going around saying, "Oh, fucking PC's way better, if you don't get on that, you're not getting the true experience," well, fuck them basically, because you are still getting a great experience because the game isn't just all about graphics. I will admit, however, that they are very good, and especially on a PC that can run it at full graphics, which are far and few between, I imagine. But anyway, onto the story. The story, I won't spoil anything. The story is basically continued, and very well. Extremely well. It's very gripping. The atmosphere is amazing that goes along with the story. And although it pulls a few things, okay, this isn't spoilers, but you're going to see a few bare breasts in the game. Only a couple times, and it's nothing amazing. The only people who are really going to make a thing of that are 13-year-olds, basically. It really doesn't take anything away or add anything to the story. It doesn't change much at all, frankly. And it isn't something to harp on about when it comes to the game. So I'll move on. Now the gameplay. Now what they're trying to do with the gameplay from the first game and the second game is trying to immerse you completely in the world, and frankly both games do a fantastic job of that. Now the second game, Last Light, has tried to improve on this with things like you wear your gas mask, for instance, because it's, you know, there's a lot of radiation outside and you'll get radiation poisoning, blah blah blah, other things. So you wear your gas mask and you can get like mud, blood, water all over the mask and shit, and you wipe it off. I mean, it does come off on its own. It just stays there for a little bit longer if you don't wipe it off. So it's not like you have to do that. So if you think that's going to be kind of annoying to have to keep doing that, well, it's not completely necessary. Now, a lot of the plot twists in the game are really cool, and I'm annoyed because I want to talk about them, but I can't because they just would utterly ruin the whole story for you. I don't want that. It is a game that I would like anyone who is interested to go and experience on their own, and it's that kind of game that, you know, the story is quintessential to your experience, which I guess kind of goes without saying, but then there's some games like Halo where it doesn't matter as much. I really like the story in the Halo games, but frankly, they are games that, you know, it doesn't matter too much. I just got a text. Oh my gosh. Anyway, because I don't know if you heard that sound. Oh, it's basically time for me to go, and I need to finish off my Calippo. Very lovely things. So yes, I recommend this game to everyone. Everyone and anyone. So, yeah, go and find it, go pick it up. It's fantastic.